Well, my friends, you're going to love this one. I mean, this one is going to really get your attention. Ah, yes, diversity and inclusion. The magic buzzwords that have once again proven their power to crash more than just outdated hiring practices, but perhaps maybe even aircraft. But I'll leave it at that. The Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, is currently at the center of a scandal, but let's not kid ourselves. We all saw this coming. We know what this is all about. A deadly midair collision in Washington, D.C., killing 67 innocent people, has conveniently brought to light a class action lawsuit that accuses the FAA of prioritizing DEI nonsense. You know, diversity targets, prioritizing that over, hiring people who are actually good and proficient at their jobs. But hey, look, at least they check the right diversity boxes, right? That's all that matters, I guess. So let's rewind a little bit. The FAA, under the enlightened leadership of the Obama administration, decided that hiring air traffic controllers based on skills and qualification was, far too outdated. Instead, they implemented ready for this? Here come the air quotes, a biographical assessment to boost minority and DEI applicants. Translation? They swapped out merit for feel-good hiring. Andrew Brigida, the lead plaintiff in the lawsuit, scored 100%, not 95, 100% on his training exams, but was rejected because he happened to be, you guessed it, the wrong skin color. But don't worry, the FAA probably had someone who scored 60% but fit the diversity DEI profile, right? So fast forward to this week's tragic, horrible collision. The FAA admitted that staffing levels at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport were, quote, not, little air quotes here, not normal during the crash. I don't know what those balloons are for. In case you're wondering, that means one air traffic controller was doing the work of two people. But who cares about safety when diversity metrics are met? Now, let's look at it carefully. Let's look at what we're talking about here. And this is really, 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 really critical. The controller had to simultaneously oversee helicopters and guide planes, a job typically divided between two trained individuals. But in the FAA's world, efficiency and safety are just, outdated relics of the past antediluvian. Now, Brigida, who is now ironically working for the same FAA that once rejected him, didn't mince words when asked if diversity hiring contributed to the disaster. His response? A straightforward, yes, that's kind of accurate. A little subtle. Now, of course it is. What did people think would happen when you prioritize diversity quotas over competence? Did they believe air traffic controllers would magically juggle double workloads without breaking a sweat or causing deadly accidents? Did that cross their minds, you think? And let's talk about Trump's response. Because, of course, the usual suspects are up in arms about it. President Trump carefully and I think correctly pointed out the obvious. Diversity programs are part of the problem. Cue the outrage, ladies and gentlemen. How dare anyone criticize the sacred cow of DEI? Diversity, equity, and insanity. Now, the media are, of course, already painting him as insensitive for suggesting that lowering standards in critical sectors like aviation is a recipe for disaster. But it's not exactly rocket science, or in this particular case, aviation science. You see, the FAA's own preliminary report revealed that the airport's air traffic control, the facilities itself, have been understaffed for years, with only 19 fully certified controllers as of September 2023. But sure, let's keep pretending that everything's fine and dandy as long as diversity quotas are met, right? It's comforting to know that the person guiding your plane through busy airspace, might be there because they scored well on, air quotes again, a biographical assessment, rather than their ability to, prevent midair collisions. Now, the lawsuit that we speak of, which is heading to court next year, might finally force the FAA and the U.S. Department of Transportation to face some accountability. But let's not hold our breath. After all, admitting that their obsession with diversity might have deadly consequences is the last thing the FAA's PR team wants to do. So here we are, my friends. 67 innocent people dead, families mourning, and the FAA scrambling to dodge blame while clinging to their diversity hiring practices. Now, if this doesn't make people go berserk and at least rethink how far we're willing to go for this DIA or DEI or DIA, whatever the hell I'm saying, this nonsense, then what will? Maybe the next crash, oh God, this is horrible, but maybe the next crash or a crash will wake them up. But by then, it might be too late. In the end, my friends, diversity isn't the problem, but sacrificing competence and safety at its altar certainly is. And that's what we're talking about right now. That's simple. That's simple. That's what it's about. Well, what do you think, my friends? Weigh in. Can you believe that we are even going through this? That in the year 2025, now we are still even addressing this? We're still arguing this? We're still even debating this? What do you think? My friends, do me a favor. Please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button. And also hit that little bell to be notified of live streams and new videos as they arrive. But in the meantime, my friends, I ask you, my friends, to comment as you see fit.